Hey everyone, welcome to our virtual troop meeting training. So here are the four platforms that we are covering here today. The first one is Zoom, the second is Google Hangouts, the third is Skype, and the fourth is Facebook groups. I've placed the icons for each beside them, so that is exactly what they should look like when you're going to search for them. Our first is Zoom. So a little bit about Zoom. In Zoom, you can have as many people as you want on the platform. The only drawback is that you can only have 40 minutes max for your meeting. You can also have as many meetings as you want to. So if your time limit has already expired, you can go ahead and restart your meeting directly afterwards and just kind of continue on. It is free to use, so you do not need the app and you can do it all online right through your computer. The girls will not have to create an account, but you as the leader and the host will have to go ahead and create a free account. But it is super easy and you'll see some more information about that in our next slide. Okay, so I'm going to take us through the Zoom website really quick. First thing you need to do is sign up. It's really easy. It's free. I went in and signed up with my Google account earlier, and it just took less than a minute. I went to zoom.us and clicked this blue button right here. It signed me up, and now I have an account, so I can just go and click this button right here, and it will take me to my account, which we'll see in just a second as my internet boots up. There we go. So this is the dashboard for the free Zoom account. We are in the Meetings tab right here. So this is what you should see once you sign into your free account. It is somewhat limited in the free basic account, but it has everything that you should need to put on a troop meeting. What you want to do to schedule a new meeting is click this blue button that says schedule a new meeting. Right here, you'll want to fill in the name of your meeting, description of what you guys are going to be doing that day, the date, the time of the meeting. It has a selection for the duration of the meeting, but there is going to be a little notification here that reminds you that you are on the free basic plan and with participants, meetings with participants of 3 or more people, it's going to limit you to that 40-minute time limit. So just keep that in mind. If you do go over 40 minutes, you can just start up a new meeting right afterwards. So keep that in mind. Again, set the time zone correctly. We are on 2 different time zones in our council, so pay attention to that. You can set it as a reoccurring meeting. If you guys are holding weekly or bi-weekly meetings, you can check that box, mark whether you want weekly, monthly meetings, or however you guys do it. If you want them to repeat every, 14 days or so, you can make that selection, and you can have it set to, turn off your reoccurring meetings after 8 occurrences. Um, However you want to do that. And that'll save all of this information so you don't have to keep retyping it and inputting that information every time you go in and schedule a new meeting. You don't have to schedule a new meeting every week. This will basically reoccur every week. But if you're just trying this out as a virtual meeting, seeing if you can make it work, you can uncheck that. If you want to change your descriptions and everything every week, you can uncheck that. It's up to you. That's just an option. Another option we have down here is the meeting password. That's a security measure that's optional for you. So this is something that the girls would be required to type in to gain access to your meeting. This is automatically generated, but you can change that to something that is customized for you, if you want to. or you can just go ahead and forego the password altogether, if you want to, if you think that it would just be confusing and you don't need that high of a security to get into your meeting, which I think I would just not worry about the password. So for this option, you can choose whether or not you want your webcam on when you start up the meeting. Host is you as the troop leader, whoever is putting on the meeting. This would turn your video option on as soon as the meeting started up. You also have the same option for your participants, so that's all of the people attending your meetings, the girls or their parents. So you can turn that on or off. That's another option for you. Audio is another option that we have. You can select whether they're hearing through their phones or computer audio. I usually select both, and that gives them an option to choose how they want to hear through the Zoom app. So good at practice is just to kind of leave it on both. Last bit of options is down here at the bottom under meeting options. These are some cool things you can check or uncheck, whether you want to let the girls join the meeting before you start it up. You can mute all the girls as soon as they join in. You can enable a waiting room. So say the meeting got started like 5 minutes early or so, you can put them all in a waiting room as you get things ready before your webcam, like you selected your webcam is going to be on, before they're viewing you through the webcam. You can be getting things ready. You can even enable a slide that may have the meeting agenda or materials that may be needed for a project that you guys are working on, whatever you want to do. So that's handy. Record the meeting automatically on the local computer. Local computer means yours, whatever computer you are operating the Zoom meeting from. That's where the recording will be saved, so mind your storage capabilities. Also, remember in this basics package that you don't have a lot of options with the recording, meaning everything that you record, everything that's going on in that meeting will be recorded. So the girls' chat log, everyone's webcam feeds, basically everything that's going on in that meeting will go into the recording. So if you are recording this with the intent to post it on social media or elsewhere on the internet, you may want to do that with the understanding that these girls' chat logs and video feeds and information will also be going up on the internet and social media. So be mindful of that, be respectful of that, and do this carefully so as not to expose anyone's video feeds to the worldwide internet. So again, really careful with this last feature. And then when you have all of your settings ready to go, you would click save and that meeting would be saved and ready to go. I'm going to click cancel because I don't have a meeting that I am planning at this point in time, but I do have some other things that I want to show you. So up here in personal meeting room, we have the meeting ID right here. So this basically is your private meeting room. It's like your reserved community meeting room that is private and nobody else can use it. So if you're wondering how the girls get access to your private virtual meeting room, we're going to scroll down here and this join URL it's like a website page almost, but that is what you're going to email out to the girls, and it's their invitation to get into this meeting room right here. So you can click this link right here, and it gives them, it's like a little invitation, meeting invitation, to send out to the girls or their parents that will invite them to your troop meeting using that URL right there. So you can click that. It copies everything for you. You can open up a email and then just paste it and send it right out to everyone in your troop. And that will invite them into your little meeting room, and then you guys can have your private virtual troop meeting that you have set up and prepared for them. So that's how you do that. Again, that was in personal meeting room, and we were just in upcoming meetings. So we were just right here. That's where we scheduled our new meetings, and then we came over to personal meeting room and went to join URL, copied the invitation right there. So I'm going to go ahead and start a meeting so that you can see what that looks like. And then we'll go through some of the options that you have within a video virtual meeting. So let's go ahead and click on this. It should prompt you to select whatever you want to use, whatever application you want to use. If you haven't already downloaded Zoom, it might ask you to open and download Zoom. You can go ahead and do that. It's safe. It'll open on your computer. Mine opened in another window, so I brought it over here. So it's showing that I'm talking. My webcam's not on right now, but I can click down here to start video, and there I am. Hi. So what I can do is this microphone right here, I can mute myself. I can unmute myself. There's an arrow up here that gives me audio options. I can click over here. It says stop video, and that would turn my webcam back off and bring up that same screen that we saw at the beginning. Right here, I can invite others to join the video, which right now it's just me in the virtual meeting by myself, but I could invite others, and like you will invite others to your troop meeting. I can manage the participants right over here. Again, there's only me. I could mute myself. I could do a few different things with the participants, but if you have a list of all of your girls here and everyone's talking and everyone's chatting, you can actually mute them all so that they can all hear you. So that's pretty handy. You can share your screen so they can see kind of everything that's going on your screen, and you can bring up a PDF, you can bring up a storybook, you can bring up a video, and they can see that. That's pretty cool. There's a chat over here. So as you're talking and presenting to the girls, they can actually chat amongst each other and talk while they're muted. So that's a handy feature. And you can also record, as we mentioned earlier. You can record the meeting and review back later. There's also a reactions button. You can clap and give a thumbs up, which is really nice for the kids, especially if you have them all muted. That's another way that they can interact with you as you're presenting to them in this video chat. So a few different ways to interact with your audience while you're on here. This is really easy to figure out, really easy to interact on this video chat, and I encourage you to log on, play around with it, do a couple calls with a few friends, and yeah, start up a troop meeting and see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. And you click that red "end the meeting" at the bottom. You have the option as the host to end the meeting for all. If any of your girls need to leave the meeting early, say they have an appointment or just something going on, their only option would be to leave meeting. But as the host, you have the option to end the meeting for all. And there we have it. That's Zoom. And now Google Hangouts. On Google Hangouts, you can only have a maximum of 10 people on the video at once. However, it is free and you can use the video as long as you want to, but you will need to download the app and so will your girls. The best thing about this one is that if you only have 10 people joining or less, it is free. Plus it's easy to use and you can also use it as long as you want to. So if you have a small troop, this is a pretty good option. Okay, so first thing you want to do is download the Google Hangouts app. You'll log in. I use my Google account to log in. In this first picture, you can see a little green arrow plus sign. You can click right there to add or create a new group. In the second picture right here, you can see a place where you can name your new group. Below that, you can also enter the names, emails, or phone numbers of your troop members if you know them. If you don't have this information, you can go ahead and share the link with those group members so those members can access your video on their own. In the top right hand corner of that same picture, there's a little video camera icon, a little white video camera icon, and you can click that to start your video meeting. Your video meeting does have similar options to the Zoom meetings where you can pause and mute yourself. This is more for talking and chatting. There isn't a screen share option like there is on Zoom. So if you are trying to share documents or videos, then you might want to give the girls a heads up to look at those before or after the meeting, because that is not something that you'll be available to share during the video meeting with the girls. The next version that you can use is Skype. So on Skype, using the chat feature where you can actually talk back and forth and see each other, you have a maximum of 10 people. You can chat for as long as you want to, and it's free to use. You can use the app or you can go online, but either way, you do have to create an account. Okay, so we are looking at Skype now. This is the dashboard of the free account. I just signed up for this. I had to create a new Microsoft account in order to do so. So just be aware that you might have to create a new account. I wasn't able to use my Google account for this one, had to create a new Microsoft account. In order to do that, I had to use a phone number. So just be aware that you should use a cell phone number because it did send me a text code in order to verify that cell phone. This is really easy. This is the main dashboard that you will see on Skype. It is more an interactive chatting tool, more so than Zoom, which we looked at before. It's less planning like you would do in Zoom, not like you would set up a meeting beforehand. All of that planning and interaction would happen outside of Skype. This is just something where you would set up you would start the meeting and kind of go right from here. So what you can do in here is organize your contacts. You can load your contacts in from right here. You can call them directly from the calls tab right here. You have notifications for when you have like missed calls, mentions, reactions, quotes, all kinds of fun interactions like that. And then in your chats, this is both text chats and video chats. So right here is where you want to start your video meeting. Again, you will see the link to invite people to join, just like we saw in Zoom. You can use this to copy that link, or you can just, well, you can't highlight and copy, so you're just going to use that little button. And that is what you're going to send out to girls to invite them to join your video chat. There's tons of opportunities to invite people to join your Skype chat once you've started it, which I'll show you in just a second. So we're going to go over here and start the call. It started up my webcam, but the call hasn't actually started yet. You're going to need to come down here to start the call. Again, you see this link right here, which we can copy. You can share. You can email it out. Send it to your contacts right there. It's got lots of options to send that link out to your friends or your troop to invite them into the call. I'm going to go ahead and start this call. So there we are. We're in the Skype call now. We're in your virtual meeting. Again, you have the options to mute. So now you can't hear me. Unmute. You can turn off the camera here. Right here is another spot where you can invite people in to join the troop meeting or your call. Right here, you can change the layout of your call. Again, right here, another option where you can add people to join the call. They really want people to join this call. Here's another chat spot. Just like you had in Zoom, this is a spot where you can add messages and chat back and forth. So while you're talking, if you have the girls muted, they can chat back and forth. So that's really nice. Again, up here, here's the link to invite people to join on into the meeting. So tons of opportunities to invite people into your chat, your video on Skype. So hard to miss those options. I'm going to go ahead and end this call. So I'm going to hit that red hang up button right there. And yep, it told us that nobody else was on the call, just us. So that's it. That's all there is to Skype. It's pretty much a interactive, at that moment chat. Not much planning to it. You're going to do that meeting planning and communication with your troop outside of Skype, and then go ahead and start the meeting in Skype at that time in the meeting. So that's your option on that, and we'll move on to the next one. The last one we're going to go over is Facebook groups. So for Facebook groups, you can have as many people as you want to, you can chat and talk as long as you want to, and it's free. The drawback is you do have to have a Facebook account. You'll then have to log on online or through the app from there, but you do have to have an account. Okay, so the last thing we're going to go over today are Facebook groups. You would just sign into Facebook like you normally would. Up in the right-hand corner, right here, there's a little downward arrow, and you just click on that, and it opens up a drop-down box where you can select your groups. And that's going to bring you to this page right here where it has groups that are suggested for you, a bunch of groups that your friends are in, and it's also got a list of groups that you're in. And you can click this blue box right here, which will open up a box where you can create your own group. And so from here, you're just going to type in a title for the group that you want to create. You can name it after your troop. You can name it something funny. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. You can enter the names of the people that you want to invite. So your troop parents, the girls, whoever it is that you want to invite to your group. And then right here, you want to choose the privacy setting for your group. If it's public, then anyone can see who is in your group and what they're posting. If you set it to private, then only the people that you've invited into your group can see the group and what is being posted within that group. It's important that if you set it at private, you are inviting your group members in, because if they go to this search bar up here and type the name, Troop 12345, it's not going to come up as a result in that search bar. So be aware, if you set it to private, you invite all of your members in and allow them to join that group. So one last thing, if you check this box, then it's going to pin this group to your shortcuts. That just means it's going to be visible in a left-hand menu bar over here. This is a great option if you belong to a whole bunch of groups and you don't want it to get lost in the shuffle. You can just select that and it will pin it right up here so it's always visible, and it's nice and handy whenever you're on Facebook. So I'm going to click this blue box and go ahead and create our group. So there we go. We've got our troop group. It's private. You can go ahead and personalize your group. You can upload a photo from your computer right there. You can choose a photo. This will give you the option to choose a photo from your existing Facebook account, or you can choose an illustration that Facebook has available for you. So right down here, this Facebook wall works a lot like your wall on your personal profile. You can write a message to your friends. You can post a photo or a video. You can tag friends. This is really handy when you guys are having conversations back and forth. You can write an @ sign and then follow it with someone's name, and what it'll do is it will send them a notification up here to let them know that you have written a message with their name in this dialog box up here. So it really grabs people's attention and reminds them to come check this group. So that's handy. Check in from different locations. You can create a poll that can be really nice within groups, just to kind of poll the audience and get people's opinion. Tag Facebook events, all kinds of stuff that you can do in here. There's a live video feature. So this can be a great feature, especially for right now, for troop leaders who want to go live and talk to their troop members or group members, whoever their audience is. One thing to note, it is not a two-way street like Skype or Zoom or Google Hangouts. You, as the host or the troop leader, will have the webcam on you and your audience will be able to see you, but there isn't a second feature for you to be able to see your audience. What you will be able to see is any comments or reactions coming from your audience if they are live and watching you at that moment. And you can also, it will also record the video and then post it within this group wall so that if they aren't there at the moment that you are going live, they can go back and review it at a later date. And also it will record any comments or reactions anybody viewing it at a later date might make. So live video is a good option if you're taking the Facebook group route. And then one other note is if you are using the Facebook group in conjunction with another one of the options that we went over earlier, like if you are planning to do a live, a virtual troop meeting via Skype, and say you're planning that for next week, you can let your troop members know via the Facebook group, hey guys, I'm planning on doing a virtual meeting at 2 p.m. next Wednesday, and you can drop the invite link right here so that everybody can have it and communicate that through the Facebook group, and then you guys can join in a virtual meeting via Skype or Google Hangouts or whatever route or option you're taking. So lots of benefits to using the Facebook group. Couple downsides. Not everyone is going to be on Facebook. You do have to have a Facebook account in order to use this. Not every parent is going to want their child to have a Facebook account. So keep in mind if you do go this route, you may not be able to have all of your troop members within the Facebook group. So just be aware of that, communicate with your troop members about the best option, and that's all we've got for you today. Thanks for joining us today as we explored a few different options for a virtual troop meeting. If you have any questions about running a troop meeting from home, feel free to give our volunteer Caroline a call at 888-771-5170. If you are looking for more content or ideas to work on with your girls while we are sheltering at home, feel free to give our GSK website a visit. On the homepage, we have a great Girl Scouting at Home guide that our program team has been working hard on. Link is right here in the video, so make sure you take a look at that. Thanks. Bye.